Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to speak to you guys about how my ADHD medication revealed my autistic traits. Now you might be thinking, what are you going on about? Let's just get into the video and I'll explain. But just a quick disclaimer, this is in no way saying this will happen to everybody. I want to just make that very, very clear, because I don't want to scare people. You know, this is just my personal experience, and actually there's nothing scary about it. It just revealed that I am also autistic too. And you might be thinking, what? How is that possible? Well, I have a dual diagnosis of ADHD and autism, and the thing is, I didn't know that I was autistic until I took ADHD medication, and it just completely unmasked how autistic I actually am. Like, as soon as I took it, my brain just like silent. I was able to really process. Everything was like a slowed down version of what I'm used to. Everything just seemed to just chill, and my life just started to make sense to me, like why I've struggled so much with certain aspects of my life. When the ADHD was quieting down and, you know, my brain was able to just take a break and not be on the fast track all the time. The thing is, my doctor, when I was diagnosed, did say to me, you know, you also show a lot of autistic signs, so, you know, if you want to, we can go forward with an autistic assessment. And I was like, no, I cannot identify with any of the autistic traits. I personally don't think I am, so I brushed it off and was like, nah. But, well, I don't know why I did that, because within like a few months, I definitely could see them autistic signs that the doctor was talking about. They became very, very apparent and very obvious. Although they've always been there, like I said, I just associated that with ADHD when it was diagnosed. I was like, oh, all of that is just down to ADHD. But it wasn't. A lot of my autistic traits were kind of like pushed to the back because my ADHD is the dominant one. So my autistic traits just didn't have their chance to come centre stage very often. And when they did, it was still very dulled down because my ADHD was very dominant. So what I just want to speak about, I've written down some things, like areas and aspects of my life that I can compare to ADHD and autism, and just give you like a representation of, you know, when ADHD medication was suppressing my ADHD, like these symptoms and traits and signs of autism I'm going to tell you about, they became very, very intense and very, very obvious. Yeah, so I think does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I'm gonna just go on like with this video, because otherwise you guys are just gonna get bored of me going round and round and round and round and round. So let's just go. So the first kind of area and kind of thing that I want to talk to you about is my communication, so like social communication and communication in general. Now I want to speak to you about that because that was one of the main things that just shouted out to me. I have combined type of ADHD, and I am very hyperactive, but it doesn't come out in the stereotyped version way. For me, it manifests in the way that I speak. Like, I'm hyperverbal, I'm very hyperactive, talkative verbally, and I interrupt people, finish off people's sentences, because I'm just like, yeah, go. I don't mean to, it's not rudeness, but that's just how it manifests within Molly. Like, that's just how it happens. Which really hid the fact that I really, really struggle like engaging in social like chit chat and like small talk. You know, it just really hid that from me, and I didn't realise how much I struggle with like understanding non-verbal communication, like facial expressions, you know, body language, people's intentions. Like, I didn't understand that, and I didn't realise how much I truly struggled with that until like I was like, my hyperactivity was like dulled down a bit, and I was able to like sit at a table without like feeling like I need to be like chit-chatting, moving around, being really, really like, you know, hyperactively talking. Like, I was able to really become aware of how much I struggle socially with not being able to understand like this social hierarchy and like how to communicate, like social rules. And I was just very like struggling. I was like, does anyone have a book on how to socialise? But yeah, I was really struggling. So that's like another way that I was masking. Like, my ADHD was just hiding the fact that my autistic traits and the autistic side of me was struggling really, really bad. So the next thing I noticed was how my ADHD, right, it triggers me to react impulsively on emotions. So like, when it comes to emotions, I basically react to things like instantly and very intensely without like thinking, why am I actually feeling? Like, what am I actually feeling? Am I angry? Am I upset? Like, how can I react to that? Like, when I was like medicated for ADHD, like when I took the medication, I had, you know, my brain was just chilled for a bit, and I was able to process how I was feeling, which then made me realise I have absolutely no idea what emotions I am feeling. Like I can't verbalize them. I can't express them. I can't identify them. It's very, very challenging for me to be like, I'm feeling sad. Like, all the emotions just feel the same to me, apart from like, all I feel is like intense anger, and like when I'm happy, I'm like really happy. There's no like excitement. It's just very, very excited all the time. Or if I'm angry, I'm like very, very angry all of the time. And I struggle to like find like what I'm actually feeling like and understand my feelings, which I put down to being an autistic trait. Another huge one that I noticed was my ADHD impulsivity and like my desire to be spontaneous, you know, go off of routine and just do what I want and go on these crazy big adventures, right? Although that's a huge desire that I still have now, you know, to just do what I want, be spontaneous and think about the consequences later. I didn't act, like it was overshadowing my autistic need and desire for routine and structure. I really thrive on routine and structure, and I think that is why I absolutely loved school. I didn't love school for the learning, I just loved that it was, you know, 8:30 to 3:30 every day, and I knew it was a generally really structured day, and I really thrived with that. As in, I didn't thrive because I got excluded and kicked out, but I mean, I personally really liked that. My autistic side of me was like, great. I love going to school every day because like I just liked the routine, the wearing the uniform, and you know, just having that kind of regimental routine every single day was great for me. But like I say, the other side of my ADHD was like, boy, this is boring, and I had to like spice up a bit and just do what I want. Do you know, can you see what I mean? That's just like my ADHD when it was medicated, that was a bit suppressed. Then I realised, wow, my life is chaos. So like I said at the beginning, my ADHD hyperactivity comes out in ways of being like really talkative and very like social, and I think that masks a lot. Like it's a mask, but it also makes me come across to others that I'm like super confident, you know, really social, so like an extrovert, when actually I'm really not. That is a whole different version of me. Like that is not the Molly that I truly am. Like I couldn't see, because that ADHD like side of me masked just how hard I find it to emotionally, personally, romantically connect to anybody. Like honestly, it's so hard to explain, but you know, I thought I could emotionally connect to everyone, and I just thought, oh, you know, I'm just one of those social butterflies. But actually I'm really not. I really struggle, and it's a huge mask that I wear when I'm out socially. And I mean, I don't really go out socially, I don't have any friends, but like it's something that I really, really struggle with family as well. Like I really only have a strong emotional connection to my mum, and everybody else I really struggle to connect to them because I just don't know how to. But my mum, it's just natural, comes natural, and you know, but everyone else I don't have a clue. Like I can't figure that out. Like I think, yeah, I associate that again with my autistic traits too. So this one I put down to just ADHD and being forgetful, and generally just, you know, struggling to keep up with things that I don't personally find fun to do. You know, I find them more of a chore, which is my hygiene, kind of personal hygiene tasks. Now, like I said, I just automatically assumed that was probably that after I was diagnosed. Oh, that's ADHD, that's what that is. So when I took medication, you know, it just really showed my sensory sensitivities. Like it just really revealed them, and I never really thought about any of this. Like I didn't know like how sensitive I am to certain like textures, like certain sensations, temperatures and things like that. Like I didn't realise any of that, and now that like I've been diagnosed as autistic, like it just proved, like it just opened my eyes and was like, wow, that is why all the things I was trying to implement to help with my ADHD wasn't working for this said thing, because I wasn't actually helping the right thing. I was trying to help myself remember things in order to help me remember to do my hygiene, like my hygienic kind of routine, and I was adding fun things in, you know, spicing it up a little bit, you know, different flavoured toothpaste and different toothbrushes. You know, I was trying my hardest to make it work, but it wasn't working. Now I look back, I think that's because I was targeting the ADHD side. I wasn't actually targeting the sensory autistic side. Do you see what I mean? Like, yeah. Now, try to work this one out, because this is what goes on in my head every single day. So I am a chronic time keeper. Like I cannot for the life of me manage my time very good at all. Like it just flies by and I'm like, oh, I should have left like 5 hours ago. You know, I'm just very blasé when it comes to time. I just think, oh, I can do that in 10 minutes, when really it takes me like 5 minutes to get to the place. And yeah, basically I'm not good at timekeeping or managing my time. Like I'm really not. But on the other hand, I'm very, very time conscious. and I have extreme anxiety if I think I'm going to be late. So now try and figure that one out. How do I make a happy medium there? Like, it's a constant conflict. Like, honestly, it's something that, like, I don't want to be late, but at the same time I don't want to be like 15 minutes early and have to wait. You know, I'd rather have 15 more minutes at home and arrive dead on time. But yeah, I really hope I haven't overwhelmed you with the amount of talking I've done. That's probably going round and round in circles. Yeah, I'm sorry if I have. But I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's really interesting, the fact that my ADHD medication opened my eyes to just how autistic I am, like, and made me realise, yes, I need to be diagnosed with autism. Yes, I do. Like, I'm diagnosed now, but like, that's how, you know, it opened my eyes to the fact that I do also have a lot of autistic traits. So yeah, I just want to say this is not going to happen to everybody. This is not going to be everyone's experience. You know, if you don't have autistic traits, then this will not happen. Like I say, my autistic traits have always been there. But when I was diagnosed with ADHD, I just automatically assumed that I just put it all down to that. But when the medication helped like suppress my ADHD, like they then started to come forward and they had the centre stage, they had their time to shine, and they did. So yeah, I just want to say, like, the ADHD medication just unmasked it and made it like just a lot more obvious to me. Do you know what I mean? They just shouted it from the rooftops a bit, you know, yeah. But I hope I haven't made you feel a little bit like, what the hell have I just watched? I hope it's relatable to you, because this is how messy my mind is every single day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you've enjoyed it. If you want to know more about ADHD and autism, let me know down below, and I will do my best to try and make sense of it so that I can verbalise it to you guys. So yeah,